Hi, I'm Megan. I thought that today would be a good day for a get ready with me. Um, just wanted to kind of give y'all an update. If you follow me on Instagram at Fit Foodie Beauty, then you know that Friday I did a lunchtime bee peel at my dermatologist office. And so today it's starting to peel. I'm not sure if you can see in this camera. So what I'm gonna do before I put on my makeup is my Milk Moisturizer. So it just pops up like here, like that, so you don't have any bacteria. And then I'm gonna focus that moisturizer where I'm starting to peel. We're going on vacation this week, and so I have been self-tanning like a crazy person. And what I've discovered is that all of my sunspots that I normally have, my dark melasma, the self-tanner made those spots even darker. So, so when I do my color corrector today, I'll show you what I'm doing for that. All right, so when you are prepping your face before this makeup that I'm gonna show you today that I use, it's a cream-based makeup by Saint. You wanna make sure that whatever you're putting on your face prior, whether it's your moisturizer or your sunscreen, does not have silicone, because silicone is in a lot, and I would say most primers and moisturizers, but we don't want that for our makeup, for the Saint makeup, because it'll make your makeup kind of slide, because the cream foundation sits on top of the skin, which is really good for your skin because it doesn't sink into your pores or anything, but you don't want to have silicone on your face. All right, so the Elta MD sunscreen is my go-to every day. It's a moisturizer and a sunscreen, and there's no silicone in that. And then, of course, the Milk Moisturizer, that's really an intensive moisturizer that I usually just use at night, doesn't. But today I'm using it in the day because I need it. So here's my palette that I'll be using today. Everything that I'm using is included in this one compact and a whole lot more. So that is what I love about the Saint makeup, is the simplicity of it. Like, everything fits in here. And I'm gonna use a couple different brushes today. So the first thing I wanna do is just use my finger, and I'm gonna do a color corrector. So when we color correct, I wanna use a darker color than my normal color that goes on my face. Because for whatever reason, I don't understand the color science about it, but we don't wanna use a lighter color, we wanna use a darker color to cover those spots. And then, so I'm covering these spots with this color today. It's called Papaya, which is a really, really deep shade for me. But it's helping me, because normally my color corrector is called Manga, which is just a highlight. And in the Saint world, highlights are the foundation, okay? The foundation, the concealer, all that. So, anyway, I'm starting to get into my music and I forgot what I was talking about. All right, so I am just kind of color correcting here. All right, now under my eyes, some kind of like purpleness. I'm gonna use a lip color, a lip and cheek. So for Saint, all of the things are like really versatile. So this is a lip and cheek color called Frenchie, and I'm just gonna pat like the smallest, like lightest layer. Ooh, I got sandstone. Let me put that on my cheeks. I don't want that. Okay, a little bit of Frenchie under my eyes, so that will help color correct it. Okay, so I know it looks crazy right now. Yeah, but we're gonna go in with the color now and do our contour. So contour is, a lot of people use their bronzer as the contour, which is not really how we do it in Saint. Because for the contour, let's see which brush I want to use, the detail brush. I'm going to use this small end and get in my contour color. And I'm going to find my cheekbone, and I'm going to go right underneath and just make a little line there. All right, so contour, you want it to be like a natural shadow. And so the bronzer is warm, so bronze is like a warming, glowy look from the sun, and then the contour is more to have a chiseled face where you want to bring in shadows. And so I like to contour, of course, on my cheekbones so that I'm chiseled out there. And then a lot of times now my forehead really isn't so large, but some people have some like longer foreheads, and so they like to contour up here. Another place that I like to contour is the jawline. So just chisel out that jawline, especially double chin area. Get all that. We're gonna blend all this out later. So get that jawline. Okay, and then I'll show you how to do a nose contour, but I'm gonna do that later. So right now I'm gonna flip to the other side of the brush and just kind of blend all that in. And with Saint, our highlights and our contours offer coverage. So we're gonna try to apply like this lightest layer of makeup, just one layer, not applying layers and layers on top of each other. But there we go. Okay, so our contour's blended in, and we can always add more later if we want to. So I'm gonna grab this blush and bronzer brush, the small end, and I'm gonna tap into my main highlight color, which is Sandy. And so I am going to watch how I apply it. Because I've color corrected, I don't want to rub it in because I don't want to rub off what I've done for color correcting. I am just kind of tapping on top of that. Okay, and it's going to blend in. I'm not putting it where I put the contour. I'm going to put it, and I'm not really going underneath my eyes either, or on top of my eyes, because I'm going to use my brightening color for that. Now I got my hair. Okay, so I'm tapping it on, and then as this cream like gets on your face and warms to your face, we're going to use the Perfector sponge, and I'll show you that in a second, to really perfect and blend it all out. But for right now, I'm tapping it on, as you can see, real quick. Okay, I'm tapping it onto these spots that I color corrected. For sure, don't want to blend all that too much because I want that color correcting to stay right where I put it. Okay, and we'll make sure we have some around the mouth and on the chin. Okay, so that's done. I'm gonna take this buff brush. There's two ends. This is bigger, this is smaller. I'm gonna go into this lighter brightener color right now, kind of tap into that, and I'm gonna put this under my eyes and brighten that up. So we're kind of creating like darks and lights. So we want to draw attention to like the center of our face, our eyes. I'm going to even use some of this to put this on my lids. Kind of make that all blended out. Okay. And I also like to put the brightener in my T-zone. So put a little bit like right here, kind of go down the nose, and then Cupid's bow, and a little like on the chin right here. Okay, so got that. See if I need to put any more under the eyes. And then if you want to like a little pop of color, just a little bit brighter, I also have another color that I use, Linen, and that's like my pop color. So if I just want to put like some right there, I don't want to put a whole lot of this because it's really a whole lot lighter than my skin. But do you see how it just adds like a little pop of brightener? I like it right there too. Okay, now I'm gonna take the bigger end of the blush and bronzer, and I'm just gonna kind of lightly kind of blending this in where I had that. Okay. All right, so next, flip to the smaller end, and we're gonna do our bronzer. So this is Bella Bronzer right here. This is the Glow Illuminator. Illuminators are like highlighters in the regular makeup world, and sometimes I like to just like flip-flop into both of them. So if you have kind of like a tan to like medium skin tone, and you wanna just do that and pop them both in and do your bronzer and your Glow Illuminator, go for it. So the Bella Bronzer doesn't have a shimmer in it, and which I love about that, but sometimes I want a little glow. So you can add some of that Glow Illuminator because they're pretty similar. And so I'm putting the bronzer below the contour here, above the contour here on my cheeks. Okay, so bronzer is just adding some of that warmth and glow. I've got a couple of different blush shades here. I think I'm gonna go with Sandstone. I'm just like, there's just like barely a little bit amount because a little bit goes a long way. I will recommend for blushes, for the lip and cheek colors, if you go with a satiny finish that's more of a matte finish rather than the gloss, they tend to stay longer, like better longevity. But a lot of times I'll like to do like the matte color and then pop a gloss on top. So I'll do that with Petal right here. This is the gloss, and I'll kind of like pop that under here. It's just a very light pink that hardly shows up, but it is like really pretty, especially in person. It's hard to see on this camera right here. All right, so I got a little Petal, a little sandstone, and let's do eyes now. Okay. So if you want to put an eye primer on, you're more than welcome, because some people have like oily eyelids. So I'm just gonna use this. This is like Ulta. It's a matte eye primer. So I'm just gonna kind of put a little bit of that on. This is called the smudge brush. I'm gonna use like the more rounded end. I think it's called Foxy. So Foxy's a shimmer. Now when I use shimmers, because I have more aging skin, I make sure that my shimmers are gonna be on the lid part. I don't wanna get any shimmer like above that lid. I wanna keep it on the lid. So I'm just gonna kind of pat this on and keep it on this lid like I was talking about. Okay, and then we'll do the other eye. And so this is a gold color. Very pretty. Above that, for the crease, let's see, I think I'm gonna use this color called Oak. And so it's like a more of a mid-tone matte color, because I wanna use mattes when I'm using on my crease. Now, I've just got a tiny bit, and I wanna go just with light strokes, because I wanna go in softly, because I don't want it to be too dark. And I think I probably put too much right here, but that's okay. I'm gonna go in just a tiny bit on the other side, and then I'm gonna start blending it out. Okay. And sometimes it helps for those of us with hooded eyes, if you keep your eye open when you're putting your crease color on. And sometimes you might even need to go above your crease and like create a false crease to kind of help you get that look that you're going for if you have really hooded eyes. All right, so I'm just kind of blending all this out now. I might go in with this number 33. It's like a green color, like a forest green. So I'm gonna use like the tip of this and just do a little V right there, just for a different color and an effect. And just kind of do that. So I just make a V in the outer corner. But this is fun. That's what makeup's about, having fun and getting to be creative and artistic. I think it's been fun for me during quarantine, just to get to do something fun, something for me, get to come in my bathroom and shut the door. All right, I'm gonna go in with this Foxy again, and I'm gonna get right under the eye, the lash line at the bottom, because what we do on the top, we wanna do on the bottom. Okay, so a little bit of Foxy, and then we'll go in. I'm gonna use that tip end and just do just a tiny bit of Oak, because Oak is a little dark, so I don't want to get too much. Okay, and if you want to do a little bit of that number 33, that green color, just in the outer corner, or in the outer edges, sorry, of the eye right there. Okay, and the good thing about creams is if you have anything that kind of fell off below, creams don't set until you set them. So if you just want to use that brush that you use to put that brightener highlight on, you can do that and clean anything up that you need to. I'm going to take the liner brush and go into Oak. It might be a little bit light for my eyes, but it's right here in this palette, so I'm just going to go ahead and use it. And I'm just going to fill in some spots on my brows that need a little bit of help. And then the good thing about this brush is like the other end, you flip it and it's the spoolie end. Okay, so you can also wet your the tip of your brush with like your Stay Spray or setting spray or water if you want to have it a little bit more pigmented, maybe a little bit more staying power too. but this is fine for now, for me. So I'm gonna stay with this brush. I'm actually gonna spray it with the Stay Spray. So this is our setting spray. And we have a, let's see, it's Black Friday. It's an eyeliner, it's a cream eyeliner, and it fits in your compact just like everything else. And so if you use it regularly, it goes on as like a dark gray color, but when you spray it with the setting spray, it gives the color more pigment. And so it goes on black. So I find that I like it best when the brush is wet so that it goes on a little bit deeper in color, because I have dark hair, so I want to have those dark lashes and then the dark eyeliner. But I want to keep the eyeliner really, really close to the edge of the eye, because I don't want to take up a bunch of real estate that I just spent time doing all my eyeshadow colors. And then you can also, if you want to kind of push in and do your waterline, that's also another thing to do too. And then for me, I recommend staying clear of the bottom eyeliner. So I just do eyeliner on the top, and I try not to poke my eyes out. Curl my lashes, hold it down for a few seconds. And then I'll apply some mascara. So the thing about this Saint makeup is you need a good color match to make sure, and your artist that you go with can make sure that you have any color correcting that you need or anything that looks good on your skin. So I'm happy to color match you. You just go and you can send me a message with your selfie with no makeup on and natural light. That helps me to get a good color match for you. And all right, so I'm gonna take that end of the spoolie and I'm gonna kind of do that and get off whatever I don't want on there. And then you can further kind of correct it with whatever's left on the brush. I want to show you something real quick. I'm just going to take the small end of this detail brush and get some contour on it. I'm just going to contour under my bottom lip real quick. Super easy to do, but it's adding some depth and dimension to my lip. All right, so I'm going to go in. Let's try to pick a color for my lipstick. Let's see. Maybe I'll try Hollywood, this pink color. I'll just put it on with my fingers. So fingers work just fine. Okay. It's a little light for me, so I think I'm going to go into this nude color. It's called Nude. And maybe put that on top and see. Okay, so don't be afraid of mixing colors and making a custom shade for yourself. And I think I'm even going to go into Petal now, because Petal is a gloss. And just add some gloss in the center. Okay. At this point, we're gonna need to set it, because like I said, with the cream makeup, you need to set it so that it stays all day. So this is my Perfector sponge, and what I'll do with this is make sure, especially if you have aging skin, you want to use a damp Perfector sponge and just blot on top of your face to get any excess off. So that, I told you I was gonna do the nose contour too, so I'll try that. But the Perfector sponge, like, this is all I'm doing. I don't put it on top of my contour really, because I don't wanna mess with that. But this, you get under the water in the faucet and you wring it out at least like 4 or 5 times. Then you're gonna take your, the driest towel you have and just squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. And then set it out the whole time you're doing your makeup. So you want it to be damp, but you don't want it to be wet, because otherwise it'll pull off your makeup. All right, so before I do the Stay Spray, let me do this nose contour. All right, so I am going to just run my finger in my contour. So see, there's a little bit of contour. Let me get a little bit more. And I'm gonna run my fingers together so that I have a little bit on each finger. And just kind of do a line down there. Okay, it's really, really subtle. Really, really subtle. So if you want to add a little bit more, and do a little bit more, show you again. Start up by the eyebrows and just pull down. Okay. And it's gonna look like you have a nose job, but we're not done yet. Then you take your lighter color and just little pinky finger in your lighter color, your brightener, just a tiny, tiny bit. And you're just gonna run it in the middle. Just try to get a straight line. Okay, okay. Now you can take your Perfector sponge and blot and kind of make sure there's no harsh lines, but you don't want to take too much away because you still want to show that nose job that you just had. Okay, now we're gonna set it. You can either spray it on your face with the setting spray, or you can spray your Perfector and just blot. If you like a dewy, glowy look, our setting spray is awesome. So the Stay Spray from Saint is amazing. That's what I'm using right now, and it smells really good. If you want more of a matte finish, if you have like oily skin and you don't want that glowy, dewy look, then I like Urban Decay All Nighter or D-Slick. So that is my recommendation. But for the cream makeup, you really do need a setting spray. All right, so that's done. And then the only thing I'll do now is looking for my powder brush. So the last thing, well, I guess two things. I want to use this Vanilla Dust. It's a setting powder, and I like this for under my eyes. I just press it under my eyes. And this is really good if you have like aging skin, if you tend to crease up there. Now what's on my face right here? I don't know what I'm getting on myself. Okay, so the Vanilla Dust. Now it's really, really finely milled. And so if you have oily skin, this is another one that I recommend. You could put this wherever you tend to get oily. Sometimes I'll get oily like right there. And if you don't really have oily skin, but you do want a little bit more of a mattifying look, I'll show you some other ones that I like. Drugstore. This is Airspun, the Coty Airspun. That's a good translucent powder. Or I like this one from Amazon. It's RCMA, no color powder. Or Laura Mercier. This is pretty expensive, and everyone swears that this is like the best setting powder, but I don't notice a difference between that and like this Airspun, or I don't know. And I still think like this Vanilla Dust right here is even better than all of those. So it's up to you. It's up to you. Everybody has their personal preference. Okay, so I'm gonna take this blend brush now, and we are going to finish by doing our illuminator. We have cream illuminators. This is Rose Gold that I'm using here. And they are more to me for like everyday, just a little shimmer, a little glow. And then if you want more of something that's intense, you can use our powder illuminators. And the one that I have in this palette right now is called Georgia. All right, so I'm gonna use Georgia. Let's see what I'm gonna do. Just gonna put a tiny bit like right here, just to kind of show you what that looks like. Oh yeah. Okay, so I pretty much go with like a rose gold cream illuminator on a daily basis. And then for special occasions, I'll do the powder illuminators. So it's just up to you. And just like everything else, we have a ton of colors for illuminators too. So if you'd like a color match, if you need more information, please let me know and I would be happy to help you. All right, y'all have a great day. Thanks for getting ready with me.